Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Gananaham Tva Ganapatigum Havamahe Kavim Kavinamupamashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspatanaschunvannudibis Sedasalanam Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Padyanta Vande Shri Guru Paramparam Om Shri Shankaracharya Swamine Namaha Sahana Vavatu
Sahanau Bhunaktu
Saha Virjam Karavamahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
Leena Mehuldama Bhagini.
वीतरागभयक्रोधाः मन्मया मामुपाश्रिताः बहवो ज्ञानतपसा पूता मद्भावमागताः.
Lalita Ramachandra Bhagini.
Yes, ma'am. Yata mam prapadyante tanstaiva bhajamyaham mama vartamana vartante manushyaha partha sarvashah.
Can you chant the second line?
Mama vartamanu vartante manushyaha partha.
I didn't hear the first padam. Second line, please, again.
Mama vartamanu vartante.
There's no vartamanu. It is mama vartmanu vartante. No varta. It is mama vartmanu vartante. And not manushyaha is correct. But you are not stopping at manushyaha. So you should say manushyaha partha sarvashaha. Mama vartmanu vartante. Manushya partha sarvashaha. That's the way you should say.
Mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashah.
Hey Lalita Bhagini.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Kankshanta karmanam siddhim yajanta iha devataha kshipram himanushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja.
Anupama Bhatt Bhagini.
चातुर्वर्ण्यं मया सृष्टं गुणकर्म विभागशः तस्य कर्तारमपि मां विद्य कर्तारमव्ययम्.
Usha Srinivasan Bhagini.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
Namam karmani limpanti name karma pale spruha iti mam yobijanati karma virnasa bhadyate.
We are done after this shloka, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mahoday.
Yeah, that's right. So we are done up to this shloka in the last class. So the thing is, I just quickly talk about it. He talked about his avatara, and whenever there is a decline in dharma, he says he will come. And then he was also talking about how he blesses people. Only thing is that people are not really asking for Ishvara himself. They only ask for small things, and he says that I bless them. Whatever they ask me, I bless them. And then they also pray me in the form of different kinds of devatas. And even in that particular thing, I ensure that they are able to get the results for those prayers quickly. That he told that the 4 types of varna was created by me at the time of Srishti based on guna and karma. the characteristics and the kind of duties to be done. So Bhagavan had told that he was the one who is instrumental in terms of creating the 4 varnas, that is Brahmana, Kshatriyas, Vaisyas and Shudras at the time of creation. And when he made this creation, he made this only based on the mental acumen, mental capability, based on the guna. Because everybody has got their own natural tendencies. So some people are highly sattvic, and then they also exhibit rajasic capability. So when somebody has got sattvic as a primary quality and backed up by rajasic, then he said that those people are Brahmins because they can learn, they can teach, they have got good discipline, they have got good capabilities. Then he said that the next one is full of energy. So they are Rajasic people with Sattva as the second dominant factor. Those kinds of people, he said that they were the leaders. They were having so much of energy. They do a lot of things. And they are also having Sattvic quality, because of which they will be able to ensure fair administration, fair judiciary, fair law and order to take care of the entire people. So he said that is Kshatriyas. So he classified like that: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, then Vaishyas. Vaishyas are primarily Rajasic people backed up by Tamas. So they were primarily looking at personal profitability. However, they were also doing responsibility of getting materials available in the society for distribution to everybody. Then the other person is primarily Tamasic person, Tamasic and Rajasic, and very absence of Sattvic qualities. That means that person is only capable of doing work assigned to him. So he told them they are Shudras. So it does not mean that traditionally we call ourselves, I am a Brahmin, I am a Kshatriya, I am a... all those things does not hold good as far as God is concerned. God says, if the person has got a mental capability, which is Sattvic followed by Rajasic, he is only a Brahmin. He might have been born in a Brahmin family, does not mean that if he does not have a Sattvic and Rajasic quality, Sattvic predominant with Rajasic, he does not become a Brahmin at all. That's what he says. Maybe he has been born in a Brahmin family. Getting born in that family, but the mental faculty, if it is different, then he is not to be classified as a Brahmin as per how the Bhagavan has done. Bhagavan said that only Sattvic with Rajasic people are the ones who are Brahmins. And the person who is having a Rajasic with Sattvic mindset is a Kshatriya. He will be a capable person for doing that work. So he made gunas. Gunas are primarily coming from the nature. Like I told about the scientific portion of the nature and also the human point of nature. In scientific portion of nature, we have got matter, energy, and intelligence. So matter is inert, that is tamasic. Energy, we have got, Einstein came out with the formula mc square. Energy is what? Which is the one that is continuously making the entire action. The planets are going around. Every mass has got atoms. Atoms have got so much of energy and it is continuously moving. So energy is action that is going to be Rajasic. And then everything is in order. There is going to be 365 days. The sun, Earth goes around the sun. Jupiter takes some number of 1 year or so to go around the things. 30 days, the moon goes around the earth. So all these things of the universal order, that is intelligence. Okay. So that intelligence is Sattvic, energy is Rajasic, and matter is Tamasic. That is the nature. When the nature unfolds itself into the creation, human beings also have a guna, which can be a combination of Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic. And depending upon the predominance of the quality in an individual, then that particular person can be having that kind of a guna, Brahminic guna, Kshatriya guna. The same family, somebody can exhibit a Brahminic guna, somebody can exhibit a Kshatriya guna. Because, it is just because they are the same family of same caste, the caste system is all human made, but Bhagavan did not make. So that I think we need to understand that. I thought I should once again re-emphasize, because we should not think that God only created the society problem. Today we have got society problem. Somebody is thinking that he is high class, somebody is low class, etc. No, God only told that people's mental faculty and gunas, based on that you give a job. You have to give a job responsibility based on what somebody is capable of. Even in organization, we give a job based on the capabilities of an individual, not otherwise. Okay, so that has got to be borne in mind. The other important point that you may have to bear in mind is that he said that I did this classification of the people at the time of creation. Chaturvanyam Maya Srishtam. He said that I am the person who did this. Still, Tasya Kartaram Api Mam Vidhi Akartaram Avyayam. Though I did that, I am not the agent of this action. So he has told that. So this is a very confusing statement that he has made. With the Akartaram Avyayam. Please know that I am not the doer and I am Avyayam. I am the changeless person. I am changeless from time immemorial. Time does not have any kind of impact on me because I am changeless. So this is a statement he has made which is going to create confusion, not only for Arjuna, to all of us. He says that he has done it, but he says, I am not a doer. Okay. So we'll proceed further.
Veena Fanishri Bhagini.
Evam Nyatva Kritam Karma.
एवं ज्ञात्वा कृतं कर्म एवं ज्ञात्वा कृतं कर्म
Urvairapi Mumukshubih.
पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः
Evam Nyatva Kritam Karma. Urvairapi Mumukshubih.
एवं ज्ञात्वा कृतं कर्म पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः एवं ज्ञात्वा कृतं कर्म पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः.
Good. Next.
Sai Lakshmi Bhagini.
Namaste Mahoday.
Kuru Karmaiva Tasmatvam.
Kuru karmaiva tasmatvam. Kuru karmaiva tasmatvam.
Urvaif Purvatarang Kritam.
Purvaih purvatarang krutam. Purvaih purvatarang krutam.
Kuru Karmaiva Tasmatvam. Urvaif Purvatarang Kritam.
Kuru karmaiva tasmatvam. Purvaih purvatarang krutam. Kuru karmaiva tasmatvam. Purvaih purvatarang krutam.
Good. Next.
Sharat Chavan Mahodaya.
Evam Nyatva Kritam Karma. Urvairapi Mumukshubih.
एवं ज्ञात्वा कृतं कर्म पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः एवं ज्ञात्वा कृतं कर्म पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः एवं ज्ञात्वा कृतं कर्म पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः.
Next.
Srimati Bhagini.
Kuru Karmaiva Tasmatvam. Urvaif Purvatarang Kritam.
कुरु कर्मैव तस्मात्त्वं पूर्वै पूर्वतरं कृतं कुरु कर्मैव तस्मात्त्वं पूर्वैः पूर्वतरं कृतम्.
Good. Next.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sheila Shinde Bhagini.
First line 2 times.
एवं ज्ञात्वा कृतं कर्म पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः एवं ज्ञात्वा कृतं कर्म पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः.
Good. Next.
Krishna Pavani Bhagini.
Second line 2 times.
नमस्ते महोदय.
Namaste.
कुरु कर्मैव तस्मात्त्वं पूर्वैः पूर्वतरं कृतं कुरु कर्मैव तस्मात् त्वं पूर्वैः पूर्वतरं कृतम्.
Good. Next.
Rajeshwari Shivashankar Bhagini.
The two lines together once.
एवं यत्वा कृतं कर्म पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः कुरु कर्मैव तस्मत्त्वं पूर्वैः पूर्वतरं कृतम्.
Good. Next.
Kashmira Bhagini.
Yes. एवं ज्ञात्वा कृतं कर्म पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः कुरु कर्मैव तस्मात् त्वं पूर्वैः पूर्वतरं कृतम्.
Next.
Sharada Rajan Bhagini.
एवं ज्ञात्वा कृतं कर्म पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः कुरु कर्मैव तस्मात् त्वं पूर्वैः पूर्वतरं.
Good. Next.
Rajalakshmi Bhagini.
नमस्ते महोदय.
Okay.
एवं ज्ञात्वा कृतं कर्म पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः कुरु कर्मैव तस्मात् त्वं पूर्वैः पूर्वतरं कृतम्.
Good. Next. One more person.
Banu Rekha Bhagini.
एवं ज्ञात्वा कृतं कर्म पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः कुरु कर्मैव तस्मात् त्वं पूर्वैः पूर्वतरं कृतम्.
Good. So we'll go to the meaning of this. He starts telling this shloka with evam jnatva, knowing this way. Which way? We'll go to the previous shloka. So the previous shloka says, Nama karmani limpanti, name karma pale spruha. He said that initially he told that he created the creation was his. He said that the creation was done by him. Vedas were given by him. Then he made all these chaturvanyam. All those things, he said, I am the karta, but still I am not a karta. That's what he told in the previous shloka. Now, what happens is that this shloka he had told, Namam karmani limpanti. The thing that I do, whatever karma I do, it does not affect me. Name karma pades pruha. I have no craving for results of action. I only do things that are to be done and whatever I do does not affect me because I am already full. When I am already full, when I do a karma, I don't want the result because I have everything with me. So he is of that nature. He says, Name karma pades pruha. I have no craving for the karma pala. The karma that I do does not affect me also. Iti mam yab yobi iti mam yah abhijanati. People who understand me or know me like this, they are also going to be karma bihi na saha na badhyate. They also will be not getting affected by the karmas that they do. He says that if they can understand me as the God and they know that I do action which does not affect me, I do actions which does not without any craving for the results, and anybody who understands me very clearly, then those people also whatever they do, they will not be having any attachment to the karma. That's the shloka that we did last week. So now he's again continuing. Evam jnatva, knowing this way that karma is not going to really affect me. I am not going to be craving for karma pala. Kritam karma, purvairapi mumukshubihi. Even your ancestors, lots of people who had lived earlier in their before all of us, those people who were also mumukshus. Mumukshus means they were either in the path of realization or the realized souls. They were also doing karma in the same way. Evam jnatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi. Those people also did the karma in the same way where they did karma as a kartavyam, not kartrutvam. When you have kartrutvam, you have got bhoktrutvam. You are doing it for the sake of karma pala and you want to enjoy something. So it becomes bhoktrutvam and kartrutvam goes together. But they were all doing as kartavyam. I have to do this, so I am doing it. And the karma that I am doing is not going to affect me, nor I am craving for the karma. So even people, purvaihi api, even in the past, people who were enlightened or were in the path of enlightenment, they were also doing the karma without getting affected, without craving for results of action. So, kuru karma eva tasmat tvam purvai purvataram kritam. Purvaihi purvataram kritam. So, you also, like the way they were doing it earlier, those mukshus and the karma yogis, kuru karma, you also do. Tasmat means hence, tvam, you, Kuru karma eva. So you do only karma. Don't run away from karma. Don't say that I want to take sannyasa. I will not go for the fighting of the war with my teachers and acharyas and other people. So he's telling very clearly, once you understand that you are not the doer and you are not doing it for personal craving, you are doing because it is kartavyam, then the same way people in the past, ancient people have got enlightened and they were in the path of enlightenment. You also please do the same type of karma, the way your ancestors were doing. So that is what he is now telling him. Okay, now still Arjuna will have a confusion. What is this karma? Doing a karta, but he is telling, I am not a karta, I am avyayam. So all these kinds of things is still going to confuse Arjuna. So understanding that Arjuna is going to be confused with all these kinds of talks that he has given about karma pala is not affecting me and I am not bothered, all those kinds of things. Though I am a creator of all these things, I am not the creator, I am not the doer. So he has got confusion. So now Bhagavan is giving some more, he understands, by looking at the face of Arjuna, he understands this fellow is confused. He has got, he requires further clarity in terms of all these kinds of things. So he is further going in terms of this shloka, which will take it up.
Shanti Badri Bhagini.
Kiಂ karma kima karmeti.
Kiಂ karma kima karmeti. Kiಂ karma kima karmeti.
Kavayo yatra mohitaha.
Kavayo yatra mohitaha. Kavayo yatra mohitaha.
Kiಂ karma kima karmeti. Kavayo yatra mohitaha.
Kiಂ karma kim karmeti.
Kima karmeti, not kim. King karma, kima karma. I'll split it up for you. Kim karma, what is karma? Kim akarma, what is akarma? Kim karma, kim akarma iti. So it becomes kim karma, kima karmeti. Okay, so you cannot say kim karmeti. You say kima karmeti.
Okay. Kiಂ karma kima karmeti. Kavayo yatra mohitaha. Kiಂ karma kima karmeti. Kavayo yatra mohitaha.
Good. Next.
Sri Lakshmi HR Bhagini.
Tatte karma pravakshyami.
तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि
यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात्.
यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात् यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात्
तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात्.
तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात् तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात्.
Good. Next.
Lakshmi Devi Bhagini.
Kiಂ karma kima karmeti. कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः
किं कर्म किमकर्मेति कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः किं कर्म किमकर्मेति कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः.
Good. Next.
Mrinalini Gopalan Bagini.
Vinda.
तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात्
तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात् तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्ये शुभात्.
Good. Next.
Leena Mehul Dama Bagni.
First line 2 times.
किं कर्म किमकर्मेति कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः किं कर्म किमकर्मेति कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः.
Good. Next.
Usha Srinivasan Bagini.
Second line 2 times.
तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्षसे शुभात् तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्षसे शुभात्.
Good. Next.
K Lalita Bagini.
First line 2 times.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
किं कर्म किमकर्मेति कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः किं कर्म किमकर्मेति कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः.
Good. Next.
Lalita Ramachandran Bagini.
Second line 2 times.
तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात् तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात्.
Good. Next.
Sai Lakshmi Bagini.
Both the lines once.
किं कर्म किमकर्मेति कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्षसे शुभात्.
Next.
Krishna Pavani Bagini.
किं कर्म किमकर्मेति कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात्.
Good. Next.
Anupama Bhatt Bagini.
किं कर्म किमकर्मेति कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात्.
Good. Next.
Sharada Rajan Bagini.
किं कर्म किमकर्मेति कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात्.
Good. One more person, then we'll go to the meaning.
Bhanureka Bagini.
किं कर्म किमकर्मेति कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात्.
Okay. So, this shloka, Lord Krishna understood that there could be some confusion in terms of understanding on the part of Arjuna about karta, karma, all those kinds of things. So he said that what he says in this shloka is that kim karma Kim akarma. Karma means action. What is action? And kim akarma. What is inaction? Okay, iti. So these things, which is what is karma and what is akarma, that is action and inaction. Even learned people, kavayaha api atra mohitaha. Kavayaha means not only poet, in Sanskrit it can also be talked about as a medavi, a learned person. Even very highly learned people still have a confusion of what is karma, karma is action, and what is akarma, inaction. Even people, learned people have got mohitaha. Mohita is delusion. Delusion is understanding in a wrong manner. You are not able to have a very clear understanding of what it is. That is delusion. So even learned people have got a confusion in terms of their understanding of karma and akarma. Kim karma, kim akarma iti kavayah api atra mohitaha. Even now, even kavis, even medavis, even knowledgeable people have got confusion. Tadu te karma pravakshami. So, te, for you, that particular thing of karma. In this karma, second karma is both karma and akarma. Pravakshyami. I will tell you what it is. Yajnatva, knowing which, you will be able to moksha se ashubha. You will be able to get free and you will come out of ashubha. Ashubha is what? Shubham is anything that is ending well is shubham. We say that at the end of the book, in some of the religious books that we have in India, we have a habit of putting Shubham. Even in the house, they put Shubha Shubha, Shubha. Shubha in our Hindu culture is anything that has ended well. Shubham. Shubha means it has ended well. So now, if you look at the life of all of us, how do you think that the life will end well? The life can end well only when we are able to get enlightenment, because that is the ultimate purpose of life. When the life that we are going to live in this world is all limited. So if we think that this life is going to be only in terms of getting power, money, house, car, blah, 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 then they all have limitations. And you do not know, even when we are going to be running after this kind of a thing, we do not know whether we are going to be happy about it. But once a person in this life is able to understand that Atma is Brahman, if that is kind of understanding they have, then they will be able to have a liberation or they will be free. They are able to know that they are the Atma. If that is, they are able to understand that they are the Brahman and the Brahman in them is sin. So that is the moksha. But then what he says is that once you know all these things, you will be able to get yourself free. Moksha se. Moksha se also has got a meaning of free. Free from Ashubha. Ashubha is anything that is not ending well is Ashubha. So he says that what is that is not going to end well for a life? Life will not end well if we are going to continue our samsara. So Ashubhat in this particular case has to be taken as samsara. So you will continue to be in the samsara if you do not understand properly what is karma and what is the nature of karma and akarma. Action and inaction you have to know very clearly. Why do you know? Why do you have to know about it very clearly? Then only you will be able to understand what is the way you should do action and understand very clearly about inaction, and you have attitude towards karma also changes. And that is the one that is going to provide you with liberation. Once you provide the liberation and you are able to get enlightened, then the purpose of life is that you are ending well, Shubham. So he says that Yajnatva Moksha se Ashubhat. You will be able to be freed from Ashubha. That is, Ashubha is samsara. You will be able to get rid of samsara, which is again Punarabi Jananam, Punarabi Maranam. That's going to continue. So you need to have a very clear understanding of what is karma, what is action, and kim, what is akarma, kim akarma, kim karma. What is inaction? So you need to understand it very clearly, because even very learned people have got confusion in terms of understanding the concept of karma and akarma. So that is what he is telling him. Don't get worried. I find that your face is now slightly confused and you are showing a lot of facial language which tells me that you are confused. So don't worry about this. I'll tell you about this. What is karma and what is akarma. And once you know that, you'll be able to come out of Ashubha. Yeah.
Sheila Shinde Bagini.
Yes, ma'am.
Next one is karmano hyapi bodhavyam.
कर्मणो yapi bodhavyam. कर्मणो yapi bodhavyam.
Bodhavyam cha vikarmanah.
बोधव्यं च विकर्मणः बोधव्यं च विकर्मणः
Karmano hyapi bodhavyam. Bodhavyam cha vikarmanah.
कर्मणो यपि बोधव्यं बोधव्यं च विकर्मणः कर्मणो यपि बोधव्यं बोधव्यं च विकर्मणः.
Good. Next.
Sharat Chavan Mahodaya.
Akarmanascha bodhavyam.
अकर्मणश्च बोधव्यम् अकर्मणश्च बोधव्यम्
Gahana karmano gatihi.
गहना कर्मणो गतिः अकर्मणश्च बोधव्यम् गहना कर्मणो गतिः
Once again.
अकर्मणश्च बोधव्यम् गहना कर्मणो गतिः.
Good. Next.
Srimati Bhagini.
Yes, Mother.
Karmano hyapi bodhavyam. Bodhavyam cha vikarmanah.
कर्मणो ह्यपि बोद्धव्यं बोद्धव्यं च विकर्मणः कर्मणो ह्यपि बोद्धव्यं बोद्धव्यं च विकर्मणः.
Good. Next.
Rajeshwari Shivashankar Bhagini.
Akarmanascha bodhavyam. Gahana karmano gatihi.
अकर्मणश्च बोधव्यं गहना कर्मणो गतिः अकर्मणश्च बोधव्यं गहना कर्मणो गतिः.
Good. Next.
Kashmira Bhagini.
Yes, sir.
First line 2 times.
Yes. कर्मणो ह्यपि बोधव्यं बोधव्यं च विकर्मणः कर्मणो ह्यपि बोधव्यं बोधव्यं च विकर्मणः.
Next.
Sri Lakshmi HR Bhagini.
Second line 2 times.
Yes, sir. अकर्मणश्च बोधव्यं गहना कर्मणो गतिः अकर्मणश्च बोधव्यं गहना कर्मणो गतिः.
Next.
Lakshmi BV Bhagini.
2 lines.
Yes.
Once.
Yes, sir. कर्मणो ह्यपि बोधव्यं बोधव्यं च विकर्मणः अकर्मणश्च बोधव्यं गहना कर्मणो गतिः.
Good. Next.
Rajalakshmi Bhagini.
कर्मणो ह्यपि बोद्धव्यं बोद्धव्यं च विकर्मणः अकर्मणश्च बोद्धव्यं गहना कर्मणो गतिः.
Good. Next.
Mrinalini Gopalan Bhagini.
Bhagini.
Both the lines.
कर्मणो ह्यपि बोधव्यं बोधव्यं च विकर्मणः अकर्मणश्च बोधव्यं गहना कर्मणो गतिः.
Good. One more person.
Veena Fani Shri Bhagini.
Yes, sir. 2 lines, sir.
Yeah.
कर्मणो ह्यपि बोद्धव्यम्
There seems to be some audio problem. Okay, one more person.
Usha Srinivasan Bhagini.
कर्मणो ह्यपि बोधव्यम् बोधव्यं च विकर्मणः अकर्मणश्च बोधव्यं गहना कर्मणो गतिः.
Okay, so we'll go to the beginning of the sloka. So now, because he felt that Bhagavan Krishna felt that Arjuna is confused, he is trying to provide him with some explanation. So in the previous sloka, he was telling about what is karma and what is karma, akarma. I'll talk about that so that you'll be liberated out of Ashubha, that is samsara. Now in this sloka, he is telling karmanaha api bodhavyam. You have to understand actions. Bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha. You should also know what is vikarmanaha. Vikarmanaha is prohibited action. So when you say action, this is a prohibited action. So he says that you have to have a very clear understanding. You should know what is action. Karmanaha api bodhavyam. Then vikarmanaha cha bodhavyam. You also should know what is prohibited actions. Akarmanascha bodhavyam. You also should understand what is inaction, non-action. Akarmanascha bodhavyam. So if you look at karma, there are only three ways it can happen. One is karma as enjoined by scriptures. Okay, that is one thing. Doing those actions. The other one is not doing action, akarmana. Third one is doing wrong actions. That is called vikarmana. So that is don't. That's called don't. So you should know what is to be done. You should know what is not to be done, and you should also know what is inaction. That is what is not doing anything. You have to understand all these things very clearly, because why should you know Arjuna is karmano gatihi, the nature of karma, gahana. Gahana means it is very difficult to understand. That's what in the previous sloka he said, kavayo pyatra mohitaha. Even learned people have got a confusion in terms of understanding this karma, akarma and all. And you have to understand what is karma, what is vikarma, and what is akarma, because the nature of karma is very, very difficult to understand. He says you have to know all these things. So Bhagavan is laying a foundation for him to understand and think in terms of karma being put into three different buckets, and makes him to understand this. Karma in this case, primarily we will restrict ourselves to think that it is all karmas as scripted by as given in the scriptures, which are all the rightful actions that one needs to do is a karma. Okay, so that's what he is now talking about. We'll go to the next sloka.
Shanti Badri Bhagini.
Karmanya karmaya pashyet.
कर्मण्यकर्मयः पश्चेत् कर्मण्यकर्मयः पश्येत्
Akarmani cha karmayah.
अकर्मणि च कर्मयः अकर्मणि च कर्मयः
Karmanya karmaya pashyet. Akarmani cha karmayah.
कर्मण्यकर्मयः पश्येत् अकर्मणि च कर्मयः कर्मण्यकर्मयः पश्येत् अकर्मणि च कर्मयः.
Krishna Pavani Bhagini.
Sabuddhiman manusyeshu.
सबुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु सबुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु
Sayukta krisna karma kriti.
संयुक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत् संयुक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत्
Sabuddhiman manusyeshu. Sayukta kritsna karma kriti.
सबुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु सयुक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत् सबुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु सयुक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत्.
Good. Next.
साई लक्ष्मी भगिनी.
कर्मण्यकर्म यः पश्येत् अकर्मणि च कर्म यः
कर्मण्यकर्म यः पश्येत् अकर्मणि च कर्म यः कर्मण्यकर्म यः पश्येत् अकर्मणि च कर्म यः.
Next.
अनुपमा भट्ट भगिनी.
सबुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु सयुक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत्
सबुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु सयुक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत् सबुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु सयुक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत्.
Good. Next.
शारदा राजन भगिनी.
Yes.
First line 2 times.
कर्मण्यकर्म यः पश्येत् अकर्मणि च कर्म यः कर्मण्यकर्म यः पश्येत् अकर्मणि च कर्म यः.
Good. Next.
राजलक्ष्मी भगिनी.
Second line 2 times.
सबुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु सयुक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत् सबुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु सयुक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत्.
Good. Next.
ललिता रामचंद्रन भगिनी.
First line 2 times.
कर्मण्यकर्म यः पश्येत् अकर्मणि च कर्म यः कर्मण्यकर्म यः पश्येत् अकर्मणि च कर्म यः.
Good. Next.
मृणालिनी गोपालन भगिनी.
Second line 2 times.
सबुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु सयुक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत् सबुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु सयुक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत्.
Next.
भानुरेखा भगिनी.
Both the lines.
कर्मण्यकर्म यः पश्येत् अकर्मणि च कर्म यः स बुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु सयुक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत्.
Next.
काश्मीरा भगिनी.
Both the lines.
Yes. कर्मण्यकर्म यः पश्येत् अकर्मणि च कर्म यः स बुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु सयुक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत्.
Good. Next. One more person.
लक्ष्मी बीवी भगिनी.
Yes. कर्मण्यकर्म यः पश्येत् अकर्मणि च कर्म यः स बुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु सयुक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत्.
Okay, so we go to the meaning of the shloka. Here he says, Karmanya karma yav pashyet. Karmanya karma means karmani akarma yah pashyet. Karmani means in action. In action, akarma. Akarma. That is, this is first is in action. Akarma is actionless. In action, yah pashyet. The one who sees actionless. So the one who sees no action in action is the first word meaning. It will be highly confusing. Okay, don't get worried about it, but I think we need to still go through this shloka because this shloka, if I remember right, Adi Shankaracharya has given very, very huge amount of bhashyam for this. Okay, so it will take some time. Do not worry about this. What he is telling is that karmani akarma yaha pashyet. One who sees akarma, actionless in actions, in karmani. The one who sees actionlessness in action. Okay. And akarmani cha karma yaha. Yaha, one person who sees karma, actions in akarma, in inaction. You understand? This is two confusing statement is made. The one who sees inaction in action, and the one who sees action in inaction. Okay, so then he says sa buddhiman. That fellow is a wise fellow. The person who is able to see action in inaction, and the one who sees inaction in action. I think that in should not get confused you, or I'll put it actionless. The person who sees actionlessness in action and action in actionless, he is a buddhiman, manusheshu. Among the people, he is a very, very wise person. Saha yuktaha, saha buddhiman, manusheshu saha buddhiman. Among people, he is a wise person. Saha yuktaha, he is a yogi. Krishna karma kriti, he has got nothing to do because he has completed all his duties in the world. So that is the meaning of this shloka. I'll once again repeat for your understanding. Karmani akarma ya pashyete. Karmani means in action, in whatever action that is going on. Akarma, non-actionlessness. Yaha pashyete, the one who sees. And akarmani, in actionlessness. Karma yaha, who is saying actions in actionlessness, is a wise person among people. Saha manusheshu buddhiman. Saha yuktaha, he is also a yukta. Yukta means he is also a jnani. Krishna karma kriti, he has got nothing to do further in life because he is already enlightened soul. So that is the verbatim meaning of this shloka. And for the benefit of everybody, we'll just discuss this shloka for slightly 5 minutes or so. So now, you all decided to come for this class, right? Around 2 o'clock or so, you said that I'll today, 2 o'clock, 2:10, I'll just log into this particular class and then listen to this Bhagavad Gita and do some chanting and go through this class up to 3:30, right? So you had around 2 o'clock, you decided perhaps, okay, I'll go to this class. Then 2:10 or so, you decided that you will just log in, you did some action, you logged into the system, and then you got into Zoom, and then you got connected to this particular class. Okay. So you made a choice that you will come to this particular class, right? Where was the choice made? We had a lot of choices. 2 o'clock may be a time some people want to have a small nap. 2 o'clock may be a time that somebody may have some urgent work which they would have postponed it to 3:30 beyond also. But you made a choice that I will sit in the class, right? Who made this choice? You made the choice. Where did you make the choice? The choice was made in your mind. The choice was made in your intellect. Anytime you make a decision, it is not the mind that takes the decision, it is the intelligence that takes the decision. Buddhi is the one, which is also a part of mind, makes a decision. So that decision has been made by the Buddhi. Okay. The decision has been made by the Buddhi. Then what happened? The decision was translated into action. Then you pulled out your chair, you came into, then you put your table there, you started hooking up the electronic digital gadget that you normally use, then you started getting into the YouTube, the Zoom, then you came into the class and you sat there attentively listening for the last 45 minutes or half an hour or whatever it may be. So it's all actions. But the actions, where did it start? It started in the mind at 2 o'clock or so, that I'll make a decision and then sit in the class and do all these actions, and the 45 minutes or so, you have been in action, listening to classes, chanting something, looking at the material, trying to understand. It's all action you are doing, right? Now, you know that you made the choice, right? You made the choice of sitting in the class, you know, right? So, who is that person knows that you made the choice, and who is the person who is sitting in the class? Is it the same person?
Yes.
It's a different person. The choice was made by your buddhi and it is known to your Atma. Atma is only a witness consciousness. Atma is just knowing. You don't get worried about this confusion and all. Just think about it. Atma is a witness consciousness. It knows that you made a decision because the decision to come to the class is known. It is okay. then it is not the knower. Decision to come to the class is not the knower. The knower knows that you have made a decision, right? So the decision was done by the mind. Buddhi is the one which made the decision, which is known to the knower. I know that my Buddhi made the decision of sitting in the class. I know that my mind ordered that I should get the table, I should set up everything. I know that my body responded to the commands of the mind, and then it started getting on the Zoom, and my mind told my ears to be attentive in the class. Some people may not be attentive also, because the mind has not told them to be attentive. They may not be attentive. They may also be in some other activities, but the mind has told you be attentive. So what happens is that the body is acting based on the mind. Mind has decided based on the buddhi, and what buddhi is doing is known to you. You are not doing it. You are the witness consciousness. You are the knower of that. So you are the Atma. You know it, that it is happening. So are you doing it actually speaking? No, it is the buddhi doing it. It is the mind doing it. It is the body doing it. With the ears listening, with the mind is comprehending, and that is getting understood by my buddhi. So I am not the doer. I am only witness consciousness of my buddhi, my body, my senses, which are all only in action. And I am a witness consciousness, which is pure Satchitananda Atma, and I am only watching it. I am a witness consciousness. So I am not a doer. So who will be able to have this kind of understanding? A person who is a jnani, or people like us who are all studying Vedanta to understand who we are. So if you think about it, you will realize that the you that you think is a superimposed you of ahamkara or ego on the Atma. Atma is not doing it. Atma, because of Atma, you know it. You know that your buddhi is doing. You know that your mind is sitting in the class. You know that you are listening to it, but you know it. But what is the action being done? Action is done only by the mind, the senses, and the body. So akarma is what? Atma is akarma. Atma is a non-doer. Now you relate to the earlier shloka. Bhagavan said that akartaram, sishti kartaram abhimam, akartaram avyayam. I am not a doer. He says that that is being done. But I am a witness consciousness to what is being done, because that is done by my body-mind complex. It is not done by me. So the person who can see akarma, non-action in action. You did. I don't know whether I was able to clearly explain to you. So the self in you is not in action. It is just watching all the actions. Actions are going on. You have come to the class and you are sitting over here. The self is a witness. Self is a non-doer. So a person who is able to know in this action, there is an inaction that is going on. That is the Atma. So the person is able to know that he is an Atma. He is different than what is happening around. Correct? So this particular person is a Buddhiman. A person who is able to see non-action in action is a Buddhiman. He is a Yuktaha. He is a Mumukshu. He is a person who is in the path of knowing himself. So, karmani akarma yaha pashyet. In the action that is going on, karmani is only because of buddhi, mind, and body complex. And I am akarma, I am actionless because I am witness to of my buddhi. If he knows the difference, then he is a buddhiman, he is a jnani. Okay. Similarly, so this is one portion of the confusion which I was trying to explain. I do not know whether I was able to fully explain, but still, you take it. Now, same way, the person who is able to see akarmani karmayaha, that is, in the non-action, he is able to see action. Okay, in the first case, we said, in action, we had found the person was able to understand. In action, in what was activity, the activity that was going on. In the second case, he is in inaction, in non-action, he is able to see a karma happening. It's another complication. Okay. So, is there anything that can be called as inaction? If anything can be called inaction, can happen only when there is an actionable item is there and you are not responding for that. So if you look at that way, inaction does not have an existence on its own. inaction can come into place only when there's an actionable item for which you are not able to, you are deciding not to do that. For example, Arjuna had the option of doing a karma of fighting, and he is now dragging his feet. So he is getting in inaction. So only in the presence of actionable work, inaction is possible to exist. If there's no actionable work, inaction cannot be there. Okay, but now he says that in inaction, akarmani, this buddhiman is able to see action. So this is another confusing term. The one who is able to see inaction in activities. Okay. The one who is able to see action in akarmani, in inaction, he is also a buddhiman. So how does this happen? So now let us look at the situation. In the earlier case, I told that anything done by the body-mind complex is action, right? Which is known to the self. Now, buddhi is also responsible for action, right? Whatever is happening in the buddhi is also action. Whatever is done by the body is also action. Now, in the presence of an actionable job, when somebody decides not to do action, that means he makes a choice. Where does he make a choice? He makes a choice in his mind that I will not do it, which means the mind is involved and the buddhi is involved. Buddhi is in action. So this particular person knows that though he is not, physically seem to be having an action, they are able to see action going on inside the individual, which is known to the Atma. Okay. So the person who is able to now understand that the doer and the Atma are totally different. Atma is only a witness consciousness and not a doer. If somebody is able to understand Saha Buddhiman, Manushyeshu, Sayuktaha, he is the yogi, he is a Buddhiman among the people. Krishna Karma Kriti, he has got nothing to do because he knows that he is not the doer. Doing is only by the body-mind complex. Okay. So this is a very loaded shloka. There is a lot of, Shankara Bhashyam has got a lot of talks on this, but I just try to give you only this particular thing. Just think about it. Because you have to understand that the doing is the body-mind complex, and you as a self, Satchidananda Atma is only a witness to that. So you are a non-doer. That is the understanding that we need to get out of this. That the self, the Atma, the Brahman, Satchidananda Atma is a non-doer. And he will be able to, as a non-doer, he's a witness. He's a witness to see that non-doing, but he can see karma going around. So non-doer is able to have, when karma is going on also, he is a non-doer, akarmani. And even there's no karma, he is doing karma because he's able to see that the mind is making a choice. That is also he's able to see the karma in inaction. So when this one is made, it is talking about the self, which is the witness consciousness, which is having an understanding of what is happening in the body-mind complex. And the person is able to differentiate between the body-mind complex and the Atma. He is able to understand that the Atma is a non-doer and his Swarupa is Satchidananda Atma Parabrahman. So that is the state. And when he is already a Parabrahman, he is also a Brahma, he has understood the Brahman inside, then he has got nothing required in the world. There's nothing that he has got to do so that he is going to get a karma pala. Because the highest thing one can get is jnana. He has already got the jnana about himself. Then what is the need for his limited things that is available in the worldly things? Krishna karma grade. That means he has completely exhausted all the karmas that he has got to do, because there is no need for him to get anything out of the world of actions to get in return. That is the meaning of this shloka. Probably we'll again take it up tomorrow and then we'll discuss on that, because I'm sure that most of you would have understood it now, but you also may have a lot of confusion when you again recap on that. Maybe if necessary, we'll discuss this further tomorrow or in the free time that we have. So we'll close the class with this now, and I'll just chant the shlokas. Then Evam jnatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi guru karmaiva tasmat tvam purvaih purvataram kritam किं कर्म किमकर्मेति कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात् कर्मणो ह्यपि बोद्धव्यं च विकर्मणः अकर्मणश्च बोद्धव्यं गहना कर्मणो गतिः कर्मण्यकर्म यः पश्येत् अकर्मणि च कर्म यः स बुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु स युक्तः कृष्णकर्मकृत् ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम।